So after 5 years of podcasting and recording music with this Apogee Duet 2 as my interface, the operating system on my Mac updated and blew the software and drivers connection between this and the computer, and it would just drop out of connectivity mid-recording. And if you're guesting on a podcast or in the middle of a guitar lick or piano run, you do not want to stop because your computer's freaking out. So I had to find a different option. Turns out I already owned the perfect tool to make that happen. So this is the Zoom H6 multitasking recording tool. Most people use it for video production or live sound recording, but it's also a perfect interface for podcast recording, and it's pretty simple to set up. Let's just jump right to that. First thing you do to get your H6 handy recorder working as a podcasting tool is you take a mini USB cord and you plug it into the port on the side of the H6. Now, of course, then you plug in the USB to the other side. So once you have the H6 plugged in, now you want to tell the H6, I want this to be an interface and not just sit there and be a normal field recording tool. So hit the menu button, hit up on the wheel, and you go to audio interfaces right under USB. There's a couple options here, multi-track or stereo mix. I haven't messed with multi-track. I assume it's as cool as it sounds, but for podcast recording, you want to do the stereo mix because you're really just getting the direct line out for your voice. Maybe if you have several people, but then again, you don't need a computer if you're sitting in front of several people to record audio. There's 4 ports here for XLR microphones. That is how you record people sitting around a table doing a podcast. You click enter on the wheel, you enter stereo mix. PC Mac is the direct line. You don't want to do the other two because why would you use battery power if you have a USB line connected? So there's PC Mac. USB audio interface pops up on the menu screen, stereo mix mode, ready to go. So that's pretty much setting up this thing to rock on the Mac. Now you want the Mac to find it and line it up for all your audio input needs. To do that on a Mac, what you want to do is open up Audio Mini Setup. Like most Macs, you have built-in output and microphone as the default. You want to right click and go to use this device for sound output. Boom, after that you are ready to record whatever you have plugged into this onto your Mac. So you can close out of Audio MIDI Setup. Now we want to plug in our microphone, and the great thing about the H6 is that it has phantom power. Sure, you can plug in a passive microphone, but if you have a condenser microphone, why not plug that in? Why not plug several things in at once if you want to go just ridiculous and have a live guitar performance in the middle of your podcast? So to get phantom power set up, first you want to plug your microphone in. I like to use the side of the H6 that does not point out towards the computer, so I'm using port 4. You want to select 4. You know that you have that selected if the red light is on right above it. Now to set up phantom power, you go back into the menu. You want to find input, output in the menu settings. Click on it on the wheel, go down to phantom. Phantom on off is where you designate which channels of input have on and off power. I have channel 4 here. Looks like it's already on because that's what I use to record my podcast with now is this thing, channel 4. Hit enter to select the one you want. So now with your microphone and your Zoom and your computer all set up, you want to record some audio just to test and see what it sounds like. I'm recording audio for my fake podcast that doesn't exist, but is here on YouTube for eternity. So enjoy this Pat's Basement podcast. So we got waveforms on the computer there. The thing we want to do now is make sure that we have our levels set right. Just like radio, you want things potted in the right position. So with the H6, there's just these beautiful dials on top. The bad thing about this Duet 2, whatever interface you might have had, is it's clean looking, but sometimes you got to click on it in the middle of a podcast to get around. That can cause noise. Now this is just a gentle dial on the top. And so if I turn it all the way up, I get crazy red line. That is unusable audio. I will not put that in the show. But if you turn it all the way down, then you have a dead line, no signal. So you want to find the sweet spot where you think your voice is naturally set. I normally have somewhere around the 3.5 to 4 position. And yeah, that's pretty good. Now, since we have audio set to monitor audio from the H6, you could plug into the headphone jack there, or you could send it back. Either one is going to work fine. There really is no best choice here. It's, user preference. So I record a lot of music for my video projects that I make because why pay for something when I can just do it myself? And this Zoom H6 is a perfect interface for that as well. Real quick, we plug in our 1/4-inch guitar cable and let's select that guitar. Let's just hit a chord. This isn't in tune. I should have thought ahead a little bit, but so that's pretty sweet. You can record guitar as well right here in Adobe Audition, Audacity, whatever you're using. You could plug this in. It works like any other interface and use it with Logic Pro like I do for scoring. and I'd say you're well on your way. Another reason why this thing rocks so hard is because it's not just a interface, it's also a field tool, and it's got all this great built-in functionality like compression, limiting. I mean, if there's anything you're expecting to find on your computer, you can also probably find it in here. So if that doesn't sell you on the H6 as the perfect podcasting interface, I don't know what will. I am in love with this thing, and I think it has simplified my setup so greatly, and I hope it does the same for you. So thanks for watching. Please watch a few of my other videos. Hey, shameless plugs. Check out my podcast, filmcast.acause.com. Or if you want, steal some of my music. There's a few tracks right here, but you can also jump over to my Responsibly Wild YouTube channel where there is all of the music that I feel to give away, ready for you to download and steal. Thanks for watching, and I'll check in with you later.